Hello everyone, welcome to day 4 of the Australian Underwater Hockey National Championships, broadcasting live from Ballarat, Victoria. This is day 1 of the seniors tournament, and this is the first game for the Victorian elite men's team. They're playing New South Wales, who've just come off a win against the Barbarians team in the Open Division. We've got about 30 seconds left to play. I will quickly squeak through the team list if I can. In the Victorian team, we've got Kui Upwegi, Felipe Pernet, Ben Robinson, Alejandro Carrera, Luis Diaz, Tim Ogden, Angus Lemon, Campbell Blake, Hamish Scothen, Caden Milnes, and Jack... I'm sorry, mate, I've forgotten your last name. Oh, and John Chen. In the New South Wales team, let me see if I can find them. Amazing. We've got Ryan Heckenberg, Jacko Smith, Luke Martin, Blair Shattuck, Stuart Parkinson, Eric Straley, Stuart McMillan, Joel Hattie, Stephen Loretta, Ben Stepkovich, Jack Penrose, and Mike Harris. Looks like we have kicked off the game in court number 2 in Ballarat. Nope. Looks like I'm looking at the wrong camera. We are just about to start in this game. I'm sorry, I'm not sure what the game number is. What can I tell you about these teams? New South Wales finished up 3rd at last year's national championship. Victoria, the defending champions of Australia, they won their grand final against Western Australia 2-1 at last year's nationals in Cairns. New South Wales out for blood, looking for a bit of redemption this time. They picked up Stu Parkinson now that he's moved to Newcastle full-time. Victoria losing their coach from last year, Todd Canavan, but they've picked up Tim Ogden and a couple of young boys to replace him. Alright, still awaiting a start in court number 2. Not sure what we're waiting for, but all the boys are on the wall, ready to go. If you're just joining us today, running through the results of the age group division, Western Australia, we have liftoff in this game. So we'll see a strike taken. Victoria in the black, New South Wales in the white. So that's on the left-hand side of your screen for New South Wales. Victoria on the right-hand side. The puck's gone to the far wall. Victoria seem to have possession. They're going to drive it down that far wall towards New South Wales goal tray. Let's see if we can get better camera angle. It's a bit hard to see when it's off that wall. Looks like Victoria's gone a 45 drive. They're getting dangerously close to New South Wales goal tray. I think the puck's gone in, but we'll just wait to see confirmation from the referees. They're signalling a goal. All right, so Victoria very quick to break the egg. They've picked up a goal against New South Wales. Right, sticking to their game plan. They've driven it up the wall, cut the 45 straight into the goal tray. Fortunately caught New South Wales napping there. Number 13, that's Kui. He's the first to sink the puck into the tin in this game. So we'll see what answers New South Wales have. They won't be feeling so great, conceding a goal just 30 seconds into their second game of the day. As we see the strike taken once again, quickly won by Victoria. They'll look to offload to their on wing, and we'll see it come to the near side, which is great because we've got wonderful visuals. New South Wales cutting it back into the middle. He finds his off half perhaps, who's taken it to the far wall. Unfortunately for us, we're now going to have to use our imaginations. Nope, we're back into the middle and we see some nice play going on. The Victorian wings taking it off New South Wales, and he'll look to drive, supported by his halfback Kui. Unfortunately, we've entered a dead zone, so not too sure what's happening. Bit of battle between the halfback and the wing. Fullback pressing up. It seems like we've been locked up in this wall contest. Stephen lurking, ready to clear out the puck. Victoria now on the 45 drive. They've got strong numbers around the puck, but haven't quite been able to capitalise. It's picked up by their fullback. Looked to drive through the centre, and he might have gotten away with it. New South Wales scrambling to defend. But the boys have done well, and it looks like it'll be cleared to that far side corner, give New South Wales a chance to reset, set up their three-way rotation along the back wall, and just breathe easy for a second. Play just congested now. Be interesting to see what Victoria's strategy is here, if they want to press that back wall, if they look for the 45. At the moment, they've cut the 45s quite strongly. And we've had a call from the referee. It's against Victoria. Given that it's on that far wall and a lot of the players are right-handed, it could be a gloving foul, which is where your glove touches the puck instead of your stick. Looks like we've got a healthy 2 viewers on the stream right now. Thanks for joining us. If you do feel like adding anything to the chat, we'd love to hear from you. As play recommences, New South Wales will take their free puck and they're going to take it along the far wall. Victoria just lurking, absorbing the pressure. New South Wales on the drive now. They've gained some valuable ground. They cut the 45 into the middle. But their halfback very quick to jump onto that, and he's going to shepherd that player all the way to the near wall. So unfortunately we've just had a collision with the camera and we might have to settle with just watching people's fins for a while. Unfortunately, we'll see what we can do to fix that moving forward. We can see Joel lurking there. We'll see if I can jump in and fix that camera up at the halftime as Victoria regain possession and they're going to drive up the wall. Very quick turnover, but play seems to have stagnated. No, we've gone all the way up to New South Wales defensive corner. Players scrabbling to hold it there. They've done well to consolidate after letting in such an early goal. Huge amount of pressure from the bodies here. It is a short and shallow pool here in Ballarat, just 1.8 metres deep. And with these big bodies in the men's division, it can get quite congested. But New South Wales doing very well to clear it out of their defensive corner. Victoria doing equally well to bring it back in. Big flick through to the centre, but locked out comprehensively by New South Wales's defensive lineup. Let's see what these boys can do, clearing it out of their tray. Victoria look to drive it back. We might see a bit of a deep switch here, and indeed we do. He's brought it into the middle. Can he find his centre in front of him? Looks like New South Wales were wise to that one. They've pushed it out, driving well away from New South Wales's defensive tray. Victoria bringing the puck back into the middle, look to flick, but chopped down nicely by New South Wales. Victoria holds possession, flicks it forward, doesn't quite find his teammate, and it's been cleared. And they'll once again use that defensive corner to consolidate. New South Wales defense doing brilliantly for the last couple of minutes. Haven't looked like giving an inch. All right, New South Wales just gaining a little bit of ground here. We'll see what their halfbacks can do, whether they can feed it forward. Looks like Victoria's regained possession, as we'll have a call from the referees. And we'll wait confirmation. It seems to be against Victoria at this stage, so they're going to be sent back for some kind of foul. New South Wales quick to set up, taking the most of this opportunity they're getting from the free puck. Jumped on quickly by the Victorian halfback. Looking again for his fullback. We might see another switch coming through. New South Wales just a little slow to respond this time. It's gotten locked up in the centre corridor. Victoria look for a drive. And it looks like we'll see the puck get cleared by New South Wales to that far wall. So I think possession for this half probably being dominated by Victoria so far, but New South Wales very composed with those clearances. They seem to be switched on to Victoria's tactics of pressing the wall drive before cutting off and looking for some scoring opportunities. Just locked up in the midcourt on that far wall. Seems to be in New South Wales possession. They'll cut a 45, shut down by the Victorian half, and a steal from Victoria's wing. He's going to drive all the way up that centre corridor. He's been found by a New South Wales player. Can he get through them? He's found his halfback. Big flick, and it falls just short of the goal tray. Heartbreaking for Victoria. It's been well picked up by the New South Wales fullback, and he's cleared it out. Breathe a sigh of relief. And his teammates quick to gather behind him, support the play as they'll push it away from their goal tray. Unfortunately, the Victorian player falling foul to one of the simplest tricks in the book. If you're going to flick the puck, you better follow it up. As New South Wales with possession, they've turned it over to Victoria, going on another drive. He's jumped on by the New South Wales defensive team. It might have been done illegally, as we'll have a call from the referees. Victoria's swimming back, so it seems to be a foul against them. It looks like most of the fouls this game so far have gone New South Wales' way. I'm not sure they've been able to completely capitalise on it, but it's good signs for them early on that they're playing cleanly while their opposition isn't quite. They'll take the free puck and it's gone into the middle, but I think it's found a Victorian bat. And play moves to that far wall. We're now halfway through the first half. The score is 1-0 to Victoria. Victoria very quick to score early on in the first 30 seconds of the game. But New South Wales has had a strong answer to them. They haven't really had any scoring opportunities except for that one flick at the tray. We might see one now, though, as Victoria go on a drive. Can they break through the defensive line of New South Wales? No, they cannot. It's been cleared by, it looks like, a halfback. He goes a little slowly, finds his back behind him. No pressure in front, locked up quickly by Victoria. New South Wales really making the most of that corner. Quite patient to try and bring it out of defence, taking their opportunities when they find them. Victoria swimming through the middle, but again, doesn't quite find his centre. They'll try again here. New South Wales very strong in their defence. Look to clear it to the far corner. I think this might be a set play of theirs where they just take it to the corner, give themselves a chance to reset, and then patiently bring it out. It's been quite effective so far. They've cleared a number of goal-scoring opportunities set up by Victoria. Haven't looked under too much pressure. We've not seen a timeout yet this half. Both teams will get a 1-minute timeout each per half. I would think with 5 minutes left, we might see one coming soon as Victoria seem to have the puck. They've taken it into the middle, congested play. The contest is on now between who's going to have possession. Victoria gain it, but there's a call from the referee. I suspect play is going to come back and give New South Wales a free. And Victoria's going to be set back once again. Hard to say whether they're committing the same fouls each time or if it's a fun bag of each. But they're probably walking on ice now. There might be some kickouts coming up soon if they continue to foul the way they have so far in this half. 5 minutes to play. What answers have New South Wales got for Victoria's onslaught? As good as their defence has been, they haven't really had any scoring opportunities of their own, as one is coming now. New South Wales on the drive towards that corner. Does he have the support of his teammates? I'm not sure he does. And there's another call from the referee, just in the nick of time as well, as New South Wales have sunk the puck into the tray, but it will be a disallowed goal. Hopefully it's not a foul for them, as that would be heartbreaking to score and then get a free. I think it's going to be Victoria's free puck. Some confusion between the referees. I think a player timeout may have been called now. Yeah, Victoria taking the opportunity to give themselves a 1-minute breather. Probably a little close to comfort just then for them. New South Wales really getting them on the back foot towards their goal tray. 4 viewers now in the live stream. Thank you so much for joining us. This is game 92 in the Elite Men's Division. We have New South Wales taking on Victoria. 4 minutes left to play in the first half. Victoria quick to score the first goal against New South Wales. I think they might have caught them napping a little bit. New South Wales switched on and it's been goalless ever since. We'll see what kind of legs these boys have going into the second half. It's a shallow, narrow, short pool. And so stamina is going to pay dividends as we head into the second half of this game. 6 seconds left to restart. Victoria already set up on the bottom. What can they do to get the puck out of their defensive corner? All right, play recommencing. And they've taken it to the far wall. Safe option for the Victorians. New South Wales gaining possession. They've driven it all the way to the far corner, but a referee call's going to bring everyone to a grinding halt. Wait and see which way it's going. I suspect it'll be against New South Wales as it seemed like they had all the momentum then. and they will indeed be sent back. So Victoria is going to look at their halfback to take this free puck. I believe we're basically getting a reset of the last free. And New South Wales has had a kick out of 1 minute. I'm not sure who the player number is. I might just take a look. Would you believe it? It's a Stephen spending a minute in the sin bin, a place he got very well acquainted with at Junior Worlds last year. As Victoria take this opportunity, New South Wales 1 man down. They're on the back foot, and it looks like that has gone straight in the goal tray. So quick to capitalise on a valuable opportunity. 1 man down, New South Wales concedes their second goal of the match. The score is now 2-0 in Victoria's favour. We'll wait and see. Another goal for Kui, standing up as the team's captain along with his mate Felipe since Todd Canavan jumped ship and joined WA. Score result of WA's first game against Tasmania, which recently concluded WA scoring the winning goal in the final second of that match. Absolute nail-biter. Definitely worth a watch if you didn't catch it live. New South Wales very wisely taking a moment to call a timeout, give themselves a chance to breathe. They're going to go back into the final 2 minutes, a man down for another 30 seconds or so. Certainly not fortuitous to lose such a strong player at a critical clutch time like that, and Victoria did very well to capitalise on that opportunity. We'll see what strategy New South Wales deploys going into this strike. If they win it, I think it would certainly be wise to lock it up on the wall underneath the referee's bench and wait for their man to join them once his kick-out time has elapsed. 6 seconds left to the restart. Victoria, I think, would be very wise to just throw everything they have at this restart, try and score a goal very quickly if they can. Looks like the strike has been won, and they've actually taken it under the referee bench themselves, which might not have been the best of decisions. Play just sort of locked up in the middle. It looks like Ben Robinson has been given some space to swim, which is certainly not what you want to do with the young man. New South Wales player taking an opportunity to sub. His team is now with 4, but it doesn't seem to matter as they're on the drive on towards Victoria's tray. Victoria regained possession. They're dispossessed by New South Wales, but he hasn't cut the line. He's actually come to the wall. Very difficult to know quite what's going on with this flurry of fins. It seems like Victoria's gained possession. New South Wales might be back to 6. It looks like a Stevens back in the pool, and he's done very nicely to defend his stray. He's still down. He's had a moment to breathe on the bench. He may have just saved New South Wales of another goal, so well done. And it looks like they're on the drive now. They've locked it up in the mid-court on the wall. Look to come off the wall, but they find traffic. Right now we're just sort of locked in the dead zone, watching Ben lurking. Take this opportunity to take possession. His half watching from behind, rotating with his fullback. Bit more fin on camera action, but I actually think they've done us a favour. It looks like the camera's sort of back in a reasonable position now. As New South Wales are on the drive towards that far wall, they've got around 30 seconds left of this first half, and there has been a referee call. Wait and see who it's against. Looks like it will be a Victorian free, as the New South Wales are sent back to defend. Just 15 seconds left in this first half, so unlikely that we'll see anything game-changing from this point forward. Actually, it seems like Victoria's been sent back. Maybe a little confusion from the referees. 2 referees might have seen something different. They've also kicked out Stephen again, I believe, this time for 2 minutes. As we're going to have half-time in this court, thank you for joining us so far. The score is currently 2-0 to Victoria. Victoria quick to score the first goal in the first 30 seconds, and then grabbing another one when New South Wales was a man down to take the score to 2-0. A dangerous score to enter halftime. A lot of teams will tell you. It can be quite easy to fall into the trap of feeling a little confident and comfortable, and certainly it's still anyone's game. In this, it's game number 92 in the elite men's division. We have New South Wales taking on Victoria. I am going to go and see if I can move this camera around and get us a slightly better angle, but if I can, I'll see you soon. Alright, I've not fixed the camera, but I've delegated responsibility to someone who looked like they were more than capable of fixing a camera, as we have a restart in this game. New South Wales very quick off the strike, and he's found his wing with a beautiful big flick. And hopefully very soon we'll have that camera showing us a beautiful view of what's happening on the wall, but for now we'll just have to settle with some fins fluttering. Looks like New South Wales have the upper hand on this wall wrestle for the time being. Victoria seem to have gained possession. They've gone for a deep switch, trying to utilise the speed of their wings and their halfbacks as they're driving up the far wall towards New South Wales goal tray. New South Wales down a man. They've been very aggressive so far. They'll be getting him back in just one more minute, but for the time being it is a 6v5 battle. There's going to be a call from the referee. Just a reminder to everyone, if you're like me and can't tell your left from your right, the teams have swapped sides at halftime. So Victoria is now going to be on the left of your screen. New South Wales is going to be on the right. Don't make the mistake of accidentally cheering for the wrong team. All right, Victoria's been sent back to defend a free against New South Wales. Play locked up underneath the referee's bench on the far wall. There's been some camera movement. Looks all right to me. Real arm wrestle on the wall right now. That's sort of been the theme of the game so far. A little bit of lateral movement, mostly initiated by the Victorians. I think both these teams quite like the grappling on the wall, and as it is such a short and shallow pool, I expect we'll be seeing a lot of it throughout the tournament, especially in the open division. Victoria now pushing New South Wales goal tray. New South Wales quite composed, just going to push it out towards the corner. And they've cleared it about 6 metres from their tray and actually done quite well to continue the drive up the far wall. It's been locked up by the Victorian backs as their forward stream back to pickpocket, and they've once again gained possession, sitting about 6 metres away from New South Wales tray, just on that far wall, and New South Wales are now back to 6 men in the water, so it's a fair fight once again. Unfortunately, we've lost camera 3 now. So we'll use our imagination about what's happening. Here we go. We're back on. Victoria's still wrestling New South Wales on that wall. Looks like New South Wales has had a clearance opportunity. Just been locked up. Looking for the 45. It's a double team onto the tray. Can they defend this? No, they cannot. And that looks set to be Victoria's 3rd goal of this game so far. Referee's signalling with the little finger guns. It also seems like... No, there's not going to be a black timeout. There's just going to be a black camera screen. So we'll wait and see whether they manage to record who scored that goal. It's going to be number 10. I think that might be Felipe, but I'll just check my notes. As we have a quick restart, number 10 is indeed Felipe. So far this game we've got 3 Colombian goal scorers, 2 for Kui and 1 for Felipe. I wonder if Stephen can put one on the scoreboard for himself. New South Wales unfortunately losing some of their other international ring-ins due to unfortunate circumstances, but doing very well to rally without them nevertheless. No doubt led by experienced players like Stu Parkinson, finally finding his way to New South Wales after a long stint in Adelaide. I've had a call from the referees. We'll just wait and see who's getting control of this puck. It looks like it'll be a Victorian free. Just a little bit of communication from the referees. Yep, New South Wales are going to be sent back right on top of their defensive tray. This is not the position they want to be at this point in the game. They're certainly still in it. They haven't had a large number of scoring opportunities, but they've certainly driven it up into their attacking third often enough. But the Victorian defensive line is just very hard to break. And I'm not sure how many teams in this tournament will be able to push that back line. I suppose one thing for the Victorians is that efforts to bring the 45s off the wall in that attacking third haven't been all too successful yet. I couldn't tell you whether that's just an impressive defensive performance from New South Wales or whether there's something not quite clicking in their strategy. It's early days, of course. This is the first game for Victoria and the second for New South Wales. As there's going to be a tussle on the far wall underneath the referee bench. New South Wales gaining the upper hand. It is getting close to time that they really need to score in order to stay in this game. As I've said already, New South Wales very comprehensively defending in the back corner. Their 3-row rotation looks pretty rock solid. It's been when it comes off the wall on those 45 angles that they haven't quite had the answer for Victoria's attack yet, especially the double teams. Very tough position to be in. Ten viewers on the live stream now. Thanks for joining us. We've got 10 minutes left to play in this game so far. Stevens tried to drive a 45, was shut down, but he found his back anyway. There's going to be a tussle right in front of the tray. Oh, but very well cleared by New South Wales, and they'll snatch possession back in front of their tray and drive it all the way over to this wall. Seems like they've maintained possession. It's a quick little battle on that wall. The back's utilising a switch quite nicely. New South Wales not quite having the speed to shut it down. They'll take it away to that far wall. I do wonder if there's some strategy going on here that Victoria want New South Wales far away from their sub-bench to try and exhaust the legs as much as they can. There's going to be another switch. We're coming back over to this wall. This time, not quite as smooth, and New South Wales very quick to jump on it. Gee, that was a big flick. Unfortunately, it's going to be shut down by the referees who've called a foul. I think it will probably go... Oh, it's going to go against Victoria. I'm a little surprised by that. I thought their halfback might have been screened with a barge. Oh, it's going to go all the way back to that other wall. So something's happened on that other wall that's not quite been seen by me. Perhaps you saw it at home. But it's going to be a free puck against Victoria. What can New South Wales do with this opportunity? They've got just over 7.5 minutes left in this game. Tussling on the far wall. I think in terms of the physicality, Victoria's got the upper hand in this game. Certainly it could be a different story against some of the other teams. There's some big bodies in Queensland, in Tasmania, in Western Australia as well. And it could be quite combative in this shallow pool. Puck finds itself into the middle. I believe New South Wales just going to keep curling forever apparently. But he's found his halfback. Released him but didn't quite get enough of it, and Victoria's gained possession. Quickly snatched away again by New South Wales, so it's a dogfight over there. They look for the wall drive, but it's wrapped up again. We'll see the puck moving laterally, but I believe that's Ben Robinson's made the decision to go back to the safety of the wall. Not much at stake for Victoria now. They've got a healthy 3-0 lead and only 6 minutes left to play, so they certainly don't need to be taking any silly risks. For New South Wales, it's sort of do or die now. I'm not sure this game is salvageable for them, but they could certainly try and put a goal on the board. With that said, it's not a terrible result for them at the moment either. Victoria, the reigning champions, as they've got to drive right on the tray. Stephen's so strong in the puck, he's ripped it off the Victorian. He's going to go for a drive by himself. Does he have any support around him? He does. He's found his forward, who's being shadowed by Ben. And Victoria quick to get the turnover. Yeah, unfortunately, despite that steal from the New South Wales backman, he didn't have any forwards in front of him to offload to. Believe that might have been Joel has just driven it to the corner. He's found his forward, who's come off the wall a little bit. This could be risky as the puck moves into the centre. The risk has paid off though, and New South Wales has been able to drive right up the guts. He's found his back behind him. Maybe looked to cut in just a little too soon. He's been shut down by the Victorians, who've taken it back to that far wall. New South Wales still in possession. They've managed a really successful drive here. But the Victorian backline, rock solid. They've cleared it out and play will stagnate on the wall. New South Wales may be looking to drive the back wall here. It looks like everyone in the pool is starting to fatigue. Not a lot of subbing opportunities, with few breaks in play, and also the puck spending a lot of time very far away from the sub benches. So you really can't take those subbing opportunities the way you might like to when that sort of thing happens. Suspect the wing and the centre are probably working overtime right now to keep the puck contained on the wall. Suits Victoria very nicely. A little bit of action as the off half of Victoria's dropped down and come in. But it looks like it was a false alarm. The puck has moved back over the far wall. Victoria seem to be on a slight drive now. Going to shunt it up the pool. Probably the wing taking a bit of a drive. Victoria using an opportunity to sub. Could be a bit risky, but I think this one is going to get away scot clean. Not a lot of fouls for quite a while now. We've probably had about 3 minutes of unbroken play, which the men will no doubt be feeling on their lungs and in their legs. Victoria pushing dangerously close to the New South Wales goal tray. They're back, desperately looking to defend. He's got no one behind him. Victoria streaming in to sink the puck. And the referees have signalled. Just waiting to see what happened. Players popped up and looked reasonably satisfied that they'd scored. I think there will be a timeout taken here. I'm not sure if it's a player timeout or a referee timeout. So if player timeout, it's just for the team to take a rest for a minute. Referee timeout is for everyone to have a discussion. Seems to have been resolved, and they've decided it wasn't a goal, and they're going to award a free puck to New South Wales. Yeah, there is going to be a referee timeout while everyone figures out exactly what's happened. Perhaps one referee thinks it's a goal, another thinks no, there's been some chopping or some gloving, so we'll bring that puck back out. Seems to be a kick out for number... This is a bit odd that New South Wales are getting a kick out while they get a free puck. Certainly not unheard of, especially if there's been a foul early on. The referee's played advantage, and then the opposite team has committed a foul, like, you know, accidentally elbowing a player or something like that. Number 47 for New South Wales doesn't seem to exist. I'm just going to go have a peek and see who that might be. Would you believe it's Mr. Luke Martin who's found himself in the sin bin? Now, Luke promised me earlier that if I said lovely things about him on the stream, he was not going to do anything for me, in fact, so I'm not going to say anything nice about him at all. And the rat bag has ended up taking his team down to 5 players in the dying minutes of the second half, so I really don't think he deserves any praise in the commentary. Hopefully you'll hear from him yourselves later today. There's been a referee call, and unfortunately camera 2 is skywards once again, so there's been a bit too much ferocious... Yeah, you can see it happening right now. Players really getting into the game, kicking furiously, and unfortunately our camera's been a casualty. Not to worry though, we've got camera 3 ready to go. And it seems that New South Wales will be sent back to defend. Luke's about to jump back in. And his kick out hasn't hurt his team too much. They've been able to defend quite composed. Oh, Luke's not even going to bother to dive. He's just going straight to the sub bench. Wow, 2 minutes on the bench wasn't enough for him. He had to go and get another breather on the sub bench. Anyway, Victoria, look and see if they can push up this back wall. It's going to be really tough with big bodies like a Steven and experienced players like Joel ready to jump in and defend, but they're going to have a crack at it anyway. Furious bodies pushing up the back wall. Didn't quite pay off that time, but they might have another crack. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the puck jump back out, do a deep switch, and then end up in the goal tray from this position. But they've only got a minute to do it in. And it may in fact be a strategy to simply lock it up here and tie out the game. It's very hard to get the puck out of that corner once it's set in there. Stu Parkinson wants to have a go, but he's not given the puck by his teammates. There's a lot of tussling going on here. You can see players' bodies coming straight off the bottom as they're furiously fighting for the puck. It seems like the referee's seen something he doesn't quite like. Probably a bit too much physicality going on. We've got just under a minute left to play. I think the only team in a position to score now is Victoria. Certainly not critical for them to goal. It would be excellent for New South Wales if they can put a score on the board before this game elapses. We've got the restart. It looks like a Stevens ended up with the puck. Throws a beautiful big flick out to the wing. And we'll see play go all the way to the far wall. That might be where the game finishes. Just locked up on that far wall. Certainly far from a terrible result for New South Wales. I imagine they'll be quite happy with their score in this game. As camera 3 has decided to quit the game a little early. Now we're back on. 10 seconds left to play. Can Victoria sink one more goal into the tray before the game dies? I don't think they will. New South Wales is going to deprive them of a 4-0 victory and reduce them to just 3. So a win on the table for Victoria in the Open Division. New South Wales, unfortunately, coming up short in this game, but far from catastrophic for them. I imagine they'll feel reasonably happy with that result. Victoria probably relieved to have that one out of the way, flush out the cobwebs and get ready for the rest of the tournament against some heavy hitters, Queensland and WA in the upcoming days. All right, well, thank you for joining us. We've got one more game for the day. If you're here in Ballarat yourself, then please do come down to the Bowls Club later for a nice catch-up with your mates you only get to see once a year. And if you're watching from home, make sure you tune in again either for this final game, I think it's a Masters game, and if not that, then we will see you tomorrow. Thanks a lot.